Whew. Okay. Hello, people. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Today, I'm going to be talking about all the books I read in the month of July. I just wanted to talk about the fact that July was not a good reading month for me, and it's crazy that I said the same thing for June, but I read 17 books in June. I definitely did not read 17 books in July. Nowhere close to that. I honestly wasn't even gonna film a wrap up for this month because I was like, this wrap up is kind of sad, but you know what? It's realistic. Like sometimes you just don't feel like reading and things are just not going your way. I was DNFing in a lot of books. Like some of these are literally just DNFs and whatever, but I read 9 books in total this month and I have 2 DNFs. And we're gonna talk about those when we get to them. But yeah, let's look at my calculations. I read 3 physical books, I know that. 6 books in my Kindle. So the 3 physical books first, and then I'm gonna get into the books in my Kindle, and then after that, the DNFs. So that is how we're gonna do this video today. Also guys, happy August. It's August 1st today. You know, all my August girlies, if you know, you know. So this one is actually the first book I finished in July, and that is The Crown of Good Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I actually put this on my June TBR. Obviously didn't read it in June, but I picked it up this past month. I do remember that it definitely was a mess. It was a mess that I clearly kind of enjoyed because I gave it 3.5 stars, but I definitely can see why people stop reading the series at this point because yeah, this basically was a filler book. And for these books to be so big in this series, like 600 plus pages, look at the font, and it's filler, I can get why people hate it. But anyways, this is the 3rd book in the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, clearly, and it is a new adult fantasy romance series. Honestly, way more heavy on the romance than fantasy. A lot of people have issues with this series, and I honestly get it. I truly get it. It's a mess. Why would you read 600 pages of nothing? I get it, but I did it, and it wasn't horrible. So, am I okay? I don't know. Like I said, guys, I just read books for vibes. Next book I read in the month of July, my only 5-star book this month, the greatest of all time. That was Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. I needed to finish Joey and Aoife's story, and I just needed to be fully entranced and just dive into this book. Obviously, I loved it. I gave 5 stars. I tabbed it up. Look at the tabs, baby girl. Look at the tabs. I can't really tell you the premise about this book because this is the 4th book in the Boys of Tommen series. Read Binding 13, dive into this series, and have your life be altered and changed forever in the best possible way. That's all I can say, and I cannot recommend the series enough on my channel. I talk about it day and night. It's ridiculous. It's quite literally ridiculous.
Dora, you're very loud, so can you lay down and shush?
The last physical book I read this month was a sequel. I finally picked up the other books in the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer series. Thank you. And so I read The Evolution of Mara Dyer, and I really like this book. I gave it 4.25 stars, same as I gave the first one. I just think I would have enjoyed my experience way more if I would have read this. Can I talk? Can I ever talk? Well, I think it would have been way better if I would have read this right after The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I just wish I just read it straight through and right after the first book. But I still enjoyed it a lot, and there's still like a lot of questions that need to be answered. So I hope I get all those things answered in the 3rd book. And some crazy stuff was happening here. This book is a paranormal, like romance mystery vibe book. It's YA, and it follows Mara Dyer, and she basically wakes up from an accident that she has no recollection of, and she's the only one that survived. And she was there with her friends, and they died. So that's all I'm gonna give. I think you should go into this book as blind as possible and just read the series because it's really freaking good. And it's definitely a page turner. And the chapters are not long, and the font is pretty big, so it's a very easy read, and it's YA. So those were all the physical books I read, and now we're gonna get into the Kindle books I read. Read Nero by S.J. Tilly. Is that her name? No. S. Tilly? I read Nero by somebody. I read this book. It was okay. I give it 3 stars. It was kind of weird. It was very insta-love. Very much insta-love. I can't remember, like, he, like, broke into her apartment. And they were just so casual about it. Like, the first, he broke into her apartment, it was just so casual. I was like I get this is like a kind of a dark romance, but it's like, you still gotta be a little bit less casual when somebody breaks into your apartment. Like, I'm sorry. This was strange. This was strange, but a lot of people loved it. You know, I was looking at the reviews before I read it, and a lot of people loved it. I thought it was all right. It was all right. So I read another Carissa Robin book because, you know, she's my girly after last month. So I read her standalone, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. Okay, that's honestly a hard title. But I read this book. It was very, very good. I really like this one. I think I gave it like, what did I give it? I gave it 4 stars. Basically, this book follows, I actually don't remember the characters. I don't know why I do this every month. I'm like, I don't remember the characters' names. I don't remember anything. It follows our main character, and she is like a human, but she has like powers. What is she? She's a seer. A seer is like what you see into the future or something like that. She's set on this mission by like her queen to kill this vampire. It's like an enemies to lovers kind of, because like she's keeping this secret and she's supposed to hate him and hate his kind and everything like that. But obviously things don't happen that way, you know? But yeah, fantasy romance, super good. I love Carissa's writing. It's just, I ate it up and I can't wait to read more books by her. So yeah, I had a good time. It's like little standalone thing. It's like a part of like this series with a bunch of other authors, and like they also wrote books, but they're like all called Slaying the Blank. So I read the next one. I don't know if this is the next one right after, but it's another one in the series, and it's called Slaying the Shifter Prince. This one is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I gave it 4.25 stars. I really like this one. The girl, like, she is basically after the man who killed her sister, and she saw the murder happen, and she's after him, and she like works at like a dancing club. Like, she like works at a strip club, but she's like a stripper. I don't know how this makes sense in fantasy world, but she's like a stripper in whatever means that is. And basically her plan is like, oh, I'm gonna get a private room with him and I'm gonna kill him during our little private dance. And right as she goes to kill him, he's like, and basically he takes her and he keeps her, and he's like, you're gonna be my little slave. You're gonna do whatever I tell you to do, and you're gonna just bow at my feet because you tried to kill me. And she hates his guts because you killed my sister. So another enemies to lovers. We eat that up in fantasy. We eat that up in fantasy. I really like this one. I like the premise behind it. I liked the relationship. But yeah, like I kind of was losing interest towards the end, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. So then I attempted to read the Madison Kate series, which is a series that I vowed that I would never read ever. Like, hard to trust reverse harem series where it's like 4+ books, because I'm like, are they gonna drag this along, or is it gonna be like a decent plot? And I kept seeing people say the plot's so intriguing, there's such page turners, so I was like, okay, give it a shot. I like downloaded the audiobooks and everything. I will say the audiobooks are really freaking good. They make you like want to continue the series. But anyways, I read the first book, Hate. I gave that book 4 stars. Clearly I liked it enough. I thought it, like, we dove right into the story. It was intriguing. It was like, okay, we see why she has hate towards these guys. We still don't really know like what their deal is. It's like, it's mysterious. Like, it's the mystery of it all. So basically the premise behind this series in the first book is that we're following Madison Kate. And basically something happens one night and these 3 guys set her up. Like, when she's like running away from a dude that like is like trying to kill her. These 3 guys save her, and then they kind of leave her on the side of the road to get picked up by cops, and she gets arrested. So yeah, they basically set her up. and her dad like ends up sending her away to like another country. I think he sent her away to Cambodia or something, like so strange. It was so weird. And she like comes back a year later and she's moving back into her house, finds that the 3 guys that set her up on that night are living in her house. So that's the tea. Anyways, she's forced to live with these guys, so it gets forced proximity, enemies / hate the lovers, that whole vibe. It's a lot going on. The first book was super intriguing. I was hooked. It was definitely like a quick read, page turner. There's definitely cringy lines, and I definitely was like, okay, the way they're talking and the way she's talking, I'm kind of irritated. Like, there's no way someone genuinely think that this is a good series. But I just, you know, kept reading because it was just like simple. Then I read the second book, Liar. I gave that book 3 stars. I feel like this was when I was getting irritated with a lot of the decisions that Madison was making as a main character. I did not like her as a main character. And I low-key was not liking the addition of the boys either. I wasn't liking anybody. And then we have Fake, the third book. I also gave that 3 stars. I'm not gonna lie, I think I only liked her with one guy. And it took her like 3 books to really get with this one guy because it's like the guy that she hated the most. But that's the guy I liked her with the most. Like, they seemed like they had like at least some more depth to them. That was it for the books I completed. And then we're going off to like books I didn't finish, books I DNF'd. And at the top of that list would be Kate, the 4th book in the Madison Kate series, because as you can see, I gave up. You know, I started this book. I started the 4th one because I was like, you know what? I read all 3. I might as well finish with this mystery. And the 4th book is like 500 plus pages. And I was like, I actually cannot do this and suffer for 500 plus pages. Like, I just refuse to do it. I already suffered for 3 books. I don't know why I put myself through it, but I did. So yeah, I just said, absolutely not. I'm not going to read that. And I just looked up what happened. And I'm so happy I didn't waste my time because basically everybody was pissed and was like, the 4th book, so unnecessary. The series did not need to be 4 books long. It's so stupid. So yeah, I did have the 4th book in the series, which I hate doing because it's like, if I make it that far to the end, like I might as well just finish it off. But I couldn't make it to the end. So, but you know what? It's my life. I want to not finish a book. I'm going to not finish a book. Simple as that. And then the other book I DNF'd, which I'm actually very sad about this. I did not want to DNF this book. I really wanted to love it and give it 5 stars. And that was Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, I'm pretty sure her name is. Like, her name is super cool. But anyways, Fear the Flames. I like heard about this from a booktuber that I really like watching. I think her name's like Raven Haired Reader or something like that. I'm pretty sure. I really like her videos, and she's like a fantasy romance girly. So like if I ever want fantasy romance recs, I go to her channel. And she really loved this book. She gave this book 5 stars, and I thought I was gonna love it because like the way she was talking about it, it was like kind of like rivals to lovers. It's not rivals, like enemies to lovers, kind of. I don't really know what I would describe them. But found family, like it gives you like Throne of Glass, early Throne of Glass vibes. And I love Throne of Glass. If you know me, I love Throne of Glass. It's like my favorite fantasy series. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat it up. And honestly, in the beginning, I was eating it up. It was very good. I liked the male love interest. I liked his relationship with the main character. I was liking it. Like, I was liking it a lot. And then I was getting like 50% and above. And like, they were like going on a mission. Like, the whole point of this book was like, there's a mission. Like, that's what made it this like early Throne of Glass vibes. Like, there was like a mission. And it took them so long to get to like this mission, this heist. This is a big book. This is like 500 plus pages. Like 70-something% into the book. The couple is already together. Like they kind of, I wouldn't say it was insta love. It was definitely insta lust. But they got together pretty quick. And at first I was like, I think it's gonna be an issue with me. But I ended up really liking them. Like, I really liked their dynamic. And I really liked them. Like, even though they found interest in each other fairly quickly, I felt like their relationship still wasn't rushed. But I think I just got sick of the fact that they were together already. And just knowing that this was going to be a series. Like, this is not a standalone. If this was a standalone, I wouldn't have minded. But this is the first book in a series. So I'm like... And then I think it's the fact that we got 75% in. And we were just now talking about the heist and, like, the actual details of it. I don't know. It was interesting at first because it deals with dragons and stuff. But I just kind of got sick of it. I didn't even say what this book is about, but anyways, the book follows our main character, Ella. I actually don't know anything about this book. I'm making this up as I go. But basically, I think like her dad like hates her for no reason. I don't know why. But she has like these pet dragons. Strange, I know. Like she was being abused and stuff. He wanted to kill her. And her like uncle like gets her away and saves her. And you know, she's been like hiding out in this other kingdom for years and years and years. And like a lot of people think that she's dead. But she wants to save her dragons, you know. So she's gonna be going on this heist to save her dragons that she left behind. That's what this heist is about, getting her dragons back from her insane father. But yeah, I don't know what the issue was, but I DNF'd it. I might go back to it at a future date. Like, I don't know if this is a hard DNF. This might be like a soft DNF where it's like, I could see myself picking it up again. I really could see myself picking it up again. Because I don't think it was a bad book, and I don't think the writing was bad, and it was fairly easy to read, and I still was intrigued with what I read. So I might pick it up later. I just think that at the time, I just was not in the mood to finish it. I really wasn't. So that was the end of my reading wrap up. It's pretty sad, I know. 9 books is decent. It's just that I wasn't obsessed with everything I read this month, so I think that's like where my issues lie. It was a slow month for me, for like my reading standards. So that was my reading wrap up for the month of July. Hopefully August is a little bit better. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more because obviously I'll be posting some more. And thank you so much for watching this video and sticking around to the end, I guess, if you're here. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day and peace out.